we have officially finished the first week of homeschool, and I don't know about you, but I'm pretty proud of myself. Last year was rough, and I guess it was just because it was our first year and I didn't really understand how the flow needed to go for each child, and kind of what I needed as far as planning time goes, and our curriculum didn't really fit our learning styles and my teaching style, and so I don't know, but it is only the first week, so I mean, come on, come talk to me when it's week like 30. I may be singing a different tune at that point, but anyway, so the first week has gone well. Now that's not to say that we haven't had some issues. My son has pretty much from the second day on been dragging his feet for everything. He's not a school type person. I mean, he wants to be in the next room playing Legos and pretending to blow things up. I mean, he's a boy, so what are you gonna say? But we got through it, and there were only minimal tears from his end, and my daughter loved it. She actually would get really mad at me when I was like, okay, you're done, go away. But we've done really well. There are a few things that I've learned already, and that is with our day, we start out at 9. I try to start promptly at 9. Last year, it was just like, whenever we got to it. And I feel like we really need to have a stricter schedule, especially since we're officially doing first grade and kindergarten. It seems more official. And so I thought, okay, we are gonna start at 9 o'clock. And that's worked really well. But I have to make sure that I get up by about 6:30 and get going, because if I sleep in or if I'm dragging, then obviously the entire day is going to be pushed that way, so that it's going to last a whole lot longer and longer into closer to dinner time, which I don't want. So we've been starting at 9, and that works really well. But one thing that a friend recommended to me last year when she was homeschooling her kids was that in the mornings she did PE with her kids. And she said for a while she completely forgot about PE because, the kids run around at home or outside. And I'm not talking PE as in like the classes we took in school. I went to public school. I'm not saying like learning the rules of basketball and trying to organize them into playing a sport or whatever. I mean, they do extracurricular activities, soccer and basketball and dance. So we're not talking about that, but we're talking about getting them up and moving, and because that was always a part of my school growing up. We had gym every day, and I didn't even think about it as a homeschool parent. I was focused on the academic part of it. And so when she said she did that, I was like, you know what, that's a really good idea, because obviously my kids right now enjoy being crazy and wild and running around and things like that. But as they get older, if I don't teach them a lifestyle that's more than just sedentary, that's how they're gonna be as adults. And so I really wanted to make sure that that they're active kids that turn into active adults. And so every morning at 8:30, we do 20 to 30 minutes of PE. Now, this week that has looked like bike riding. There's a playground right across the street from us, so going to the playground. We did a dance party in the living room. I mean, literally danced for like 25 minutes straight to our VBS music. I can Bluetooth it to my speakers in the living room, and I have it on my phone, so that we rocked out to VBS music. I mean, we rocked out hard. I was recording it with my Fitbit and burned like 300 calories, so we were actually being active. And one day we played Simon Says, and it wasn't just like Simon Says raise your arm. It was like Simon Says run around or jump or, very active, Simon says. And I think next week we're going to do tag. And my son wants to wash the car as a part of PE. And I'm like, hey, if we can get out there and suds up the car and and be crazy and kind of get some movement going, and it works, and that's fine. But my main goal was that they are they're young, they're little, and they are so squirmy and squirrely at this age, especially in the morning. They've been sleeping for 10 plus hours, so they have an immense amount of energy, and I have got to burn off a little of that before we sit down, because in the morning, our morning consists of a lot of subjects that can be rather wordy, so they have to be able to focus somewhat and listen to what I'm saying and comprehend that. And so it has worked superbly for us to get up and get moving and do something for 20 to 30 minutes. And then usually I give them 5 minutes to just cool down, drink some water, and then we move into school. And it's been great. And there are some times where, even this week, I'm like, I don't really want to do PE right now. I'm like searching for my coffee, but it's, they've been asking, what are we doing today? So it's like, okay, we have to do something. And so it's worked really well. So we're going to stick with it, and hopefully I can continue to come up with ideas of things so it won't get monotonous. But we have a huge field behind our house, so I thought, we can go out there and take a soccer ball and just run around and kick it. We've also been taking the dog out back and playing fetch with him, and so it's been a lot of fun. As far as our curriculum that we're using, it's gone really well. The Grapevine studies are fantastic. The kids really enjoy them. My son initially got kind of hung up because his is not the traceable unit. It's just it's one for older kids where they draw. And he was getting upset because it wasn't looking like mine, and he's a big perfectionist. He wants it to look just right, and I've been really working with him about how, it's not about it looking perfect. What we're trying to do is learn the story of the Bible. And so yesterday and today were so much better, and he's learning to kind of let go of that perfectionist ideal when he's drawing, and I even purposefully sometimes when I'm drawing on the whiteboard will mess up a little bit just to show him, like, whatever, I don't care. My daughter, she's tracing, and hers looks just like a bunch of just nothing sometimes, and she's happy as a lark. She could care less, but her personality is completely different than his. So the Grapevine studies have gone really well. The history is going well. I have really learned, even just this first week, that if there's something in there that, even though the curriculum I bought said for first grade, if there's something in there that I think is just too over their head and it's not going to be enjoyable, it's going to be more of a fight, I'm just passing it up. And a lot of times it's not anything big. It might be an additional activity or something like that, or maybe just even an additional passage out of what we're reading. But if it's going to cause us more of a headache just to get through that part, I'm just skipping it. And the same kind of goes for our science too. Our science can be kind of wordy, and I found myself kind of summarizing the text as I'm reading it to them a little bit, just to shorten it a little bit, because we're doing we're learning about Native Americans, and then we'll be learning about colonial times and the Revolutionary War. All that stuff we're going to go over again later on down the line. Same with science, anatomy and physiology. We're going to go over that. This is just kind of like an introduction, kind of like a pseudo foundation for them. It's not about mastery. It's just about them getting used to the idea of these concepts. And so that, for me, has been a big eye-opener. And I've been talking to my husband about it, how it's like, the kids aren't going to understand this. I'm just going to skip over it. Or there was like a page in one of our in the notebook for science, and it was just gonna be too much for them. I'm like, we're just gonna skip that page. We're gonna go to this page. And it wasn't anything that was gonna make it to where we would miss out really on anything. It was just kind of an additional activity for them to do, and it wasn't necessarily, it wasn't needed. And so it's made it easier for me, you know, because I can be a perfectionist too. I want to check off all the boxes. We did this, we did this, we did this, we did this. And you can't always do that, especially with kids, and their personalities are different than mine. And so it's been just really, when that revelation kind of hit me, it's just been very, I don't even know what the word is. It's just like it lifted something off my shoulders. I was able to breathe a little bit, and I thought, okay, you know, I don't need to worry about them remembering every single little thing that we've done. I want them to enjoy what we're doing. I don't want to stress them out. I don't want to force them to do things that are just hurting their little brains. You know, we can only absorb so much information at a time. And that's another thing too. We do grapevine studies, and then we'll do history. And then before we go into whatever our next subject is, we take like a 5-minute wiggle break. And I'm like, go wiggle. And they'll just run like crazy around the house, or jump, or spin, or roll on the floor, whatever it is. Get some water, go to the bathroom. But it's just, okay, we've gotten, you know, some of these wiggles out. Let's sit down, let's do whatever we have to do next, and then we'll be done. Because in the morning, we just typically have at most 3 subjects before lunch. So Mondays are easy, and I've made them that way, and it's really been nice. But Mondays are the grapevine studies, Bible study, and history, and that's it. That's it until lunch. And then after lunch, it's the same every day, Monday through Friday. My first grader has reading, math, spelling, and then my kindergartner has the K4 program that we're using from Confessions of a Homeschooler, which includes phonics and math and handwriting. So that's what we do every afternoon. On Tuesdays, we do Bible study, history, science. And then Wednesdays is Bible study, history, art. Thursday is Bible study, history, science again. And then Friday is actually a half day. It just worked out that way because our history is only 4 days. It's Bible study, music. And then because Bible study and music are not long at all, I'm able to do the reading, math, spelling, and the K4 program, all of that before lunch. It may push our lunch back. You know, typically we're done by like 11:30. This may push it to 12, but I'd rather just get it done in the morning, and then we have the whole afternoon to either run errands or just chill and play. And so this schedule so far is working phenomenally for us. And so I'm just pumped. And I'm using Sundays after church. I'm using pretty much all day Sunday to prep for the entire week. I go through every single thing we're going to be doing that week and figure out like the supplies we need, what needs to be printed or copied or cut out. All of that stuff is getting done on Sunday so that I don't have anything to do during the week other than changing out like the worksheets in their work boxes. So like here is where I will put the grapevine worksheet that we're doing for that day. So I'll go after they're all done with school for the day, I'll go through quickly and just put the stuff in the work boxes for the next day, which takes like 5 minutes, and then we're done. And so it has just been, it's been really nice to stay on top of the prep and the planning so that that's not a headache in the morning. Last year I was like prepping the morning of it was just crazy. It was crazy. And so it's worked out well. So yeah, the first week it's been good. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the box below, and I will check in with you guys later. Bye.